As you may be aware, we've had quite a few problems with Herman here, which is a 1998 Heimer built on a Fiat chassis. But there's one problem that has been bugging me for, well, ever since we've had it, and that is this leak we have where the awning doesn't match up with the guttering. I'm not entirely sure whether or not this is a common problem, but I thought I'd just make a little video to show you what I actually do to attempt, because I don't know if it's going to work, attempt to solve it, to fix it. To explain what I mean, there is the awning, and this is the gutter just here, and you can see that the water completely misses the gutter, drips off of the awning, and the reason it does this is because the water runs off the roof down in this channel here, which is where the awning is, what the awning is attached to. And basically as it runs off, it completely misses the gutter. And the other end is the same as well. Now I'm going to attempt to fix it using plasticine, yes, plasticine, and milliput. Now if you don't know what milliput is, you know everyone knows what plasticine is. It's modelling clay for children. Milliput is an epoxy putty which takes about 15 minutes to go off. And while it's going off, you can mould it into whatever you want, and it's also sticky. The other thing about milliput is that once it's gone hard, is you can actually file and sand it. Oh yes, and it's also waterproof, sets in water, amazing. So if it does rain while it's drying, we'll be fine. Anyway, let's give you a quick demonstration. All right, just a little bit of water. Okay, so some of it does run down the gutter, but as you can see, it's just run down the wall of the motorhome there. And inside, we seem to have an irrigation problem. Look at that. We're going to have to do some gardening in Herman, I think. That wasn't there a few weeks ago. So what I've done is I've cleaned it all up and removed some of the mastic that was there already. And I think that was a failed attempt several years ago, but now I'm going to use the plasticine to actually come up with an idea of what the final thing. I've just had another idea. See that gap there, just there between this piece and this piece? I wonder if I can get some sort of plastic coving in there, L-shaped. What an idiot! I don't mean coving. This is coving. I mean conduit like this. I'm going to say coving a few times in this video, but what I really mean to say is conduit. And then kind of mould the coving to deflect the water. Options. Now, bad news. Looked around the garage and I don't have any L-shaped coving. In fact, I don't have any coving. But in the recycle bin, thinking, oh, I might have something in there, I found this. A water bottle, an old plastic water bottle. Look at the end. Quite a few right angles in there, right? So I'm gonna, and they're angled as well, so they might direct the flow and solve the problem in a matter of minutes. So I'm gonna cut this down and see if I can get it slotted in and see if that works. Otherwise, it's the plasticine and the milliput. Now, I do need to clear my workbench, don't I? I'm having problems cutting around the mouldy bit there, whatever you call it. Just making the last cut now. So I should do it. Let's take a look on the motorhome, see if it works. Okay, so just need to slide that in there. I think that's it, really. Ideally, I need to glue that, or mastic that in. Right, here goes our test. Well, it just did overflow then. I was kind of gulping loads of... That's actually working, I think. It's still come through, but that's because it overflowed. Overflowed over the guttering, I should say, rather than my little invention. See this strap here? This seal? The water is actually fouling on that now. So if I can make this longer, then we can probably get around the problem. But that, I think that's actually solved a lot of the problems, to be honest. I'm just looking down the wall here. It is wet, but it's I don't think it's as bad. Why have I tried to put these on? Oh, my boots. Oh, come on, this is ridiculous. It'd have been easier just to take the boot off. Another day and another hat. But also another idea. This is a tray which keeps 4 fish fillets in it. Notice the right angles, and well, I just think this is going to be a lot better than my bottle of water idea. So I just need to cut this up so that it kind of fits the same design profile, or whatever you call it, than the bottle piece of plastic. Okay, so you can see I've drawn out my design, so it's just a matter of cutting it out. And if I mess up, I've got three other chances, haven't I? What I also like is that all the way around the edge of the tray is this like little gutter, the foot, I suppose, of the tray itself. But that's going to give us a little channel for the water to run into and then off the edge, hopefully. So my second prototype, bit more flimsy this one. Let's give that a go. Oh, it's slightly too big. This end here needs to be thinner than this end. Right, so I've trimmed it a little bit. See if it fits. Yeah, it fits in quite well. It's a bit flimsy, so it might not be able to hold the water that I'm going to just pour on it at the moment. Let's have a look though. It's still coming down there. Right, so it's overflowing on the gutter there. That's why it's coming down. I think that's a lot better. That might just do it. I think I've sorted this now, you see. I made a new version. So this is my third attempt. It kind of moulds around the bodywork there. And if I add some water, it works very well. Look at it running around the moulding there, and then out onto the gutter right at the end. So what I might do is now use a bathroom sealant, just so that there's no gaps and the water will flood around a bit more, and of course it will give it some stickiness to stick to the bodywork a bit more, so we don't lose it in the wind, for instance. But the thing is, I don't want to use something like Sikaflex, because I want to replace this this seal here later on, maybe this year or next. So, and if I use Sikaflex, it's just going to make my life a bit more difficult. So this is what I'm going to be using to seal and bond that tiny little plastic channel that I've just made to the awning. Right, that should do it, I think. Just needs to be smoothed out now. Well, that should do for the moment, I think. It's going to take a while now, though, to dry, because it is freezing out here today. The only thing left to do is to test it with some water. Right, I'm not going to pour lots down it, but let's see what happens. Because remember, it's still drying. You know what? That only looks like it's working. We've got some leakage. There is a drop of water just there. But underneath that, nothing. Normally, oh no, got a little bit of drip. But it's not as bad as it has been. Well, I think that's a success for the moment anyway, because I can sense I'm going to need to make it a bit more permanent. I can feel that it's just going to blow away in while we're driving 70 miles an hour down the road, but we'll see. We'll find out. Anyway, I'm going to do the other end, but this is the end of the video, so thanks for watching and goodbye.